Filmmaking is a matter of making choices. What lens to use, what colors to emphasize, where do the actors stand, what kind of dog? I mean, I made an entire video just about how filmmakers use the one fuck allowed in PG-13 movies. Since I'm a weirdo who doesn't get outside enough, I enjoy obsessively digging into these small choices. And there's one particular choice that has fascinated me since I was a kid. When there's a fictional movie within a movie, what should it be? Creating a fictional film is building a part of the fictional world. It's telling us what kind of movies get made there, which ones are successful, and what kind of movies the characters like. Sometimes these fictional films will just be throwaway gags, like the dog walker in Trainwreck, which sort of seems like a parody of a Noah Baumbach movie.
My pooch has been hurt more than enough.
I will make sure no one ever hurts your pooch again.
I guess. But movies within movies can accomplish so much more. So let's talk about Coming Up Daisy, the fake movie in Burn After Reading. The film appears twice. On 2 different dates, Frances McDormand's Linda goes on, one with Alan and one with Harry. Linda uses the movie as a sort of litmus test. The man who laughs at the same jokes as her is the one with whom she has an actual connection. But it also tells us everything we need to know about the world of this movie. Burn After Reading is a farce about a bunch of idiots. So of course, the hit movie they would all go see is this.
First you say you can't commit, and then would you come down from there?
And what I like about it is that it's another opportunity for the Coen brothers to collaborate with Sam Raimi, who directed the fake movie. One of my favorite uses of a movie within a movie is in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which uses it to introduce Lucas Lee, the second Evil X. Since TV screens have traditionally been inhabited by important, famous people, introducing him this way gives him a sense of power, emphasizing the difference between him, a cool, famous movie star, and Scott Pilgrim, a weak, pathetic loser.
Oh, it's so pathetic.
And the moment from the movie within the movie chosen is one where he's delivering a killer, threatening one-liner. So he's already an intimidating figure before he's even appeared in person.
Now you listen close and you listen hard, bucko.
But the most common use of movies within movies tends to be satire.
It took you so long.
Traffic was a bitch.
Some of these are in movies about the film industry, like Tropic Thunder, which uses fake movies to satirize blockbuster action franchises, late-period Eddie Murphy movies, and especially prestige awards bait. Even before the actual film begins, trailers for all the fake movies play, introducing the viewer to the primary characters, the world of the film, and the razor-sharp satirical take on the film industry. Funny People features multiple fictional movies starring Adam Sandler's character, George Simmons. They're a perfect imitation of shitty studio comedies, designed to show how lazy Simmons' work has become. But what makes them pack an extra punch is how they're virtually indistinguishable from many of Sandler's actual movies. Aside from the role they play in the story, they function as a meta-commentary on his actual career. But satirical movies within movies even show up in romantic comedies like The Holiday. Nancy Meyers isn't known for her satire, but she does a pretty solid approximation of mainstream action movies circa 2005. And then there's Stab from Scream 2, the movie within the movie about the events of the first movie. For a series that's all about commenting on slasher movies, that's a great idea, but Stab itself is kind of a missed opportunity. Instead of saying anything about the notion of movies about real-life tragedies, or providing an alternate perspective on the events of the first movie, it just restages the exact same events in the exact same way, with a different cast. But I'll admit, it is genuinely fun to see Luke Wilson playing Skeet Ulrich.
When my mom left my dad, I accepted it. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
A more interesting approach to a similar idea is in Joseph Kahn's film Detention. When the characters realize a serial killer is basing her killings off of a series of slasher movies, they pirate a work print of the not yet released new film in the series. And in that movie within the movie, the characters do the exact same thing, which takes us into a movie within a movie within a movie in which the characters do the exact same thing. Kahn is using the same device to comment on the repetitive, formulaic nature of the genre, and how all that's really changed after decades is the surface of the films, with more polished cinematography and a more attractive, diverse cast. Movies within movies are most often used for comedy, but they can be just as effective for drama. The act of watching movies means sitting silently in the dark, engaging with the story playing out on a screen in front of us. This can be a deeply emotional, transporting experience, and it's a storytelling device filmmakers have used to great effect. In The Purple Rose of Cairo, Mia Farrow returns to the movie theater again and again to watch the same glamorous Hollywood movie, as a way of escaping her bleak life during the Great Depression. Notting Hill is a love story between an ordinary man and a famous movie star. They're from two very different worlds. So to emphasize that idea, in one scene, Hugh Grant goes to see one of Julia Roberts' movies, in which she is literally on a spaceship in the future, as far from his reality as possible. In Talk to Her, Almodovar devotes 7 minutes to showing the fictional silent film, The Shrinking Lover, which serves as a reflection of the main character's frustration and desire, as he longs for a woman in a coma who doesn't even know who he is. And in Inglourious Basterds, Tarantino demonstrates how cinema can be used for evil, with the fictional Nazi propaganda film Nation's Pride. It's a war film that fetishistically shows the heroism of a lone Nazi soldier, and the audience, including Hitler and the rest of the party leaders, goes crazy for it, cheering and cackling with delight. The goal of this is to make the Nazis as loathsome as possible and build the scene to a fever pitch. And the best way to achieve that was by creating the perfect fictional film to make the characters react this way. But no discussion about movies within movies is complete without mentioning the very best one. It's Angels with Filthy Souls from Home Alone, and yes, I know I'm repeating something I said in a video from December, but it's obviously relevant here. This is a rare example of a fictional movie that seems like a throwaway gag that returns repeatedly throughout the film to serve a real narrative function. Initially, it's there to be another one of Kevin's indulgences when there are no parents around. He can finally watch the movie he previously wasn't allowed to. And it scares him. But as the film goes on, it illustrates his growth. Kevin gets over his fear of the movie and uses it first as a tool, then as a weapon. He lip-syncs the dialogue, demonstrating his ownership of it.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
And while a lot of movies within movies don't really feel like actual movies, or feature fun but distracting celebrity cameos, Angels with Filthy Souls is shot on period-appropriate film stock and casts unknown actors who feel like authentic stars from the 1940s. More so than any other fake movie, this one looks and feels just like a real one. I mean, it fooled Seth Rogen. Now, I'm only talking about movies here, not TV shows. Otherwise, the whole thing would be about this.
He certainly broke up that meeting.
Right now, I'm thinking about holding another meeting in bed.
Oh, McBain.
I haven't even touched upon the fictional movies from movies about making movies, like The Dueling Cavalier, Hail Caesar, or Chubby Rain. Those offer an entirely different perspective on cinema, and the fictional movies within them are used in an entirely different way. So that's a video for another day. Anyway, thank you for watching, and remember, if you want to support this channel and help us keep making videos, feel free to pledge to the Patreon.
What's Jablin's Jables? No gaming video this week. Still
Ow!
trying to figure out the computers. I got a computer guy coming over, can't figure it out. But in the meantime, I want to give you guys a health tip. My boy taught me, just eat the whole strawberry. Don't pick off the green part.
Okay, we've spent a lot of time here talking about fiction. Fictional movies within works of fiction. And as much as I love stories about made-up stuff, sometimes you want some hard facts. And the best way to get that is to kick back with a good documentary. If that's what you're in the mood for, then you should check out CuriosityStream, our sponsor for this episode. There's a lot of subscription streaming services out there, but there's only one dedicated to documentaries and nonfiction programming, with over 2,000 titles to choose from, made by some of the world's best filmmakers. They have programs about science, nature, history, technology, society, and lifestyle. It's available worldwide on tons of platforms, from the web app to Roku, Android, Amazon Fire, Amazon Kindle, Apple TV, iOS. If that sounds like your kind of thing, then sign up for 30 days totally free at curiositystream.com/Patrick H. Willems and use the promo code Patrick H. Willems. And after those 30 days, it's just $2.99 per month. So come on, take a break from YouTube and go watch some real documentaries. if you're still here, let's do a proper little classic outro as well. So I've been starting off the year kind of easing back into things with some smaller videos, but we are about to ramp things up with some big, complex, ambitious stuff that I am very excited. So if you want to help us make the videos bigger and cooler, because I would like to make them bigger and cooler, let me point you in the direction of the Patreon, where we are rapidly approaching one of the big goals there, which I think would be a lot of fun. And if for some reason you want to listen to me more each week, then you should subscribe to the Infinity Podcast. New episodes drop every Monday morning. It's on every podcast platform. And if you're interested, there's the social media links and the P.O. box, and I will be back here in 2 weeks. So I'll see you then.